I'm looking at our calendar. It is officially 68 days till Judgment Day. We are 8 days from North Carolina starting to vote. Let me say that again. In 8 days, North Carolina starts voting. In 18 days, Pennsylvania starts voting. In 26 days, Wisconsin starts voting. And in 39 days, Arizona starts voting. Kane, we are in the season right now.
Yeah, and in 13 days, we have the first debate finally agreed to on ABC, September 10th. And so hopefully that, it's funny, you mentioned North Carolina. That's a state we didn't even think we were going to have to really worry about. I mean, it was still sort of within the margin of error a month ago, 6 weeks ago. And polls have shown some different things. But I've been reading a lot, I'm sure you have too, from Rich Barris, the People's Pundit, and his analysis of a lot of these polls. And I'm still feeling confident, Charlie. I feel that we have a different level of ground game. We have a different sort of approach to ballot harvesting. I feel like in Pennsylvania, we're registering truck drivers. In Pennsylvania, we're registering out-of-state fraternity brothers at, the 20 or 25 large colleges and universities. I feel like we've made substantial changes since 2020 when we had great turnout, fantastic turnout, 75 million record turnout, in fact. And I feel a number is coming higher than 80 million. We talked about 100 million votes for Trump. That's sort of has been our rallying cry. But I feel like we're going to have another bump up, just like we did in 2020. What are you feeling in the last 4 or 5 days?
Well, I definitely have seen the data start to normalize and stabilize. So even the Hill-Emerson poll, which is a left-leaning poll, came out this morning, had Trump up 3 in Arizona, had Trump up 1 in North Carolina, up 1 in Wisconsin, and tied in Pennsylvania with leaners to Trump. With that map, Kane, even if he falls short in Nevada, Georgia, and Michigan, he is the 47th president of the United States. If you win Pennsylvania, you win Arizona, Wisconsin. Now, that's a goofy map. But Kamala Harris and her campaign, they absolutely see a path in Georgia. We have work to do. The Kemp feud did not buy us any time. Thankfully, that is healed, right? The Kemp-Trump feud is healed, and I'm glad to see that. We don't have time for that right now. We're too late. I'm not a Kemp fan, but we're too late in the cycle for that kind of stuff. And
absolutely,
so Georgia, that's why Kamala Harris is doing this 2-day bus tour. She also has her CNN interview tonight with them in Georgia. But even with that, so Arizona up 3. That's a nice sampling size. We'll take it. Not sure if that's accurate, but North Carolina up 1. Everyone I talk to feels very, very good about North Carolina. Wisconsin, Trump up 1. Now I'm going to play this cut. It's cut 106. It's Mark Halperin, who basically foreshadowed this Emerson poll and is saying, hey guys, just so you know, there's both private and public polling that is coming that is not going to be great for Kamala Harris, and you might see her path start to shrink. This would explain why Kamala Harris is doing a bus tour in Georgia. This would explain it, because it means that she's trying to open the map while she still has time, and she's picking the one Sunbelt state that is the best for her. And she's right. Georgia, by far, would be the best for her. It's the blackest. It's the most college educated. Arizona is just much a tougher lift for her than that. So she's looking for one Sunbelt state where she could throw a little bit of uncertainty. And let's play cut 106.
There's some public polling already. There's more coming. And there's some private polling that suggests that nationally in the battleground states, she's not ahead. She might be ahead on paper, but well within the margin of error. And there's some battleground states now where I think Donald Trump's on this trajectory is going to be ahead. And it may be, regardless of what happens in the interview and regardless what happens in the debate, it may be that by the middle of September, when things have calmed down, when the Trump campaign have had time to prey on some of the weaknesses that I suggested, that he's ahead in all the Sunbelt states and ahead in Pennsylvania and competitive in Michigan and Wisconsin, which would be roughly where Joe Biden was before the debate, with a single path to 270 electoral votes, the 3 Great Lakes states and Nebraska too. And that'd be a scary position for the Democratic Party to be in from mid-September through Election Day.
Kane, your reaction?
Yeah, I hadn't seen that Halperin clip. Before I give my reaction, I got a question, Charlie. So you said Trump, Arizona +3 in the Emerson poll. Do you remember where Trump was polling in 2020 in Arizona?
Yeah, he was down consistently 2 or 3 points at this period of time. Consistently.
Okay. So
Consistently.
that fits the pattern, right? So that's that +5 pattern that we've seen in both 2016 and 2020, where Trump outperforms the polls because MAGA voters, Republican voters in general, tend to avoid polls. All of these reasons. So that fits the pattern. So I'm confident with that Arizona +3 number. I mean, look, I was confident in 2020 going in down -3.
Mm-hmm.
I was confident all the way up. I knew, after having seen what happened in 2016 and the shy Trump voter effect, I was confident. So I don't mind these numbers, Charlie. And you've seen it in the stack a couple of times with my headlines. I want us to stop feeling sorry for ourselves. And it's happened. That has ended. And I'm glad the president and others in his camp are no longer doing that. I don't care that we quote unquote got a wrong deal and he already beat Biden and now he's got to beat a second candidate. We don't care. The Democrat record is one that they can't run on. We're ready to do battle. I look at that as a challenge. I say we face it. And also let's stay positive and stay realistic and listen to what guys like Halperin are saying and remember this sort of polling deficit.
There is I got to interrupt here, Kane. Rush used to talk about it. There is a propaganda campaign done by the media networks to deflate our base. Do you agree?
100%. Of course.
And
it's happening.
And so we must resist that, right? We must resist the propaganda campaign, the psychological warfare that's trying to deflate us.
Yes. And here's the thing, some people, you haven't seen it, but I get it in my comments. People have gotten on me. Kane, why are you posting these MSN polls? Why are you posting polls showing Kamala with leads? Well, if you want to know the reason why, for the first 2 weeks, it was to wake people up. That was the sole purpose. I wanted the people to know that there was a battle ahead, that this wasn't Joe Biden, that it was a new battle we're going to have to fight. So I wanted to slap some people in the face with a little polling reality. It doesn't mean that I don't understand that this is a propaganda effort done through how they sample these polls, who they choose to poll. So I understand, but at the same time, we needed to be woken up after after Trump's RNC and where Biden was polling and before he was replaced, we were looking at winning all 7 swing states plus 5 others. I mean, we were looking at potential 350 electoral votes. So I think we needed to be woken up. And we didn't, and perhaps, I know I personally forgot about the Obama media effect. I forgot about the hope and change love, and I forgot what the media could do if they were excited about a Democrat candidate. So I underestimated the bounce that Kamala would get. I'll admit that straight up. But once it's there, I wanted to wake people up, let them know it's there, and let's fight. Let's fight now. It's 68 days.
It's 8 days till 8 days since North Carolina votes. Well, there is no more time. Every day is an eternity. We and again, they're going to have sentencing. They might try to do monkeypox, bird flu, lobster flu, swine flu, salt and pepper flu.
Right.
I don't know what they're going to try to do. Okay, they're going to throw the whole thing at us. But Nate Silver, I just want to I want to repeat this. Nate Silver, who's no longer with 538, even though he has the Twitter handle. On August 14th, he gave Trump a 42% chance of winning. Now, he has Trump as the favorite at a 52.4% chance of winning, which is consistent with all the data that we've seen. With all the data that we've seen, Kane, that there seems to be a big slowing down. Here's the analogy I give, is that they've been having an all-night rave at the Democrat Party, and the drugs are wearing off, and morning is here, and they have a heck of a hangover. And people are realizing they made a bad mistake.